Stephen Hawking, born on January 8, 1942, in Oxford, England, came from an intellectually grounded family. His father, Frank Hawking, was a medical doctor, and his mother, Isabel Eileen, was a researcher passionate about science and academia. Stephen's family wasn't wealthy, and they faced many financial difficulties, especially during World War II. Despite this, his parents always valued education and encouraged their children to develop intellectually from a very young age. Stephen was the eldest child in his family, and he had 3 younger siblings. They lived in a large house, but the family life was quite quiet and serious. Meals in the household were conducted in silence, with each member holding a book in their hands. This was a peculiar habit in the Hawking household, where respect for knowledge was demonstrated through the smallest actions in daily life. Despite the financial hardships, Stephen's parents still made efforts to provide the best education for their children. They encouraged them to explore and learn new things, rejecting traditional educational methods in favor of fostering independent learning and creative thinking. This liberal education style laid the foundation for Stephen's exceptional intellectual development in the years to come. Stephen Hawking, born on January 8, 1942, in Oxford, England, came from an intellectually grounded family. His father, Frank Hawking, was a medical doctor, and his mother, Isabel Eileen, was a researcher passionate about science and academia. Stephen's family wasn't wealthy, and they faced many financial difficulties, especially during World War II. Despite this, his parents always valued education and encouraged their children to develop intellectually from a very young age. Stephen was the eldest child in his family, and he had 3 younger siblings. They lived in a large house, but the family life was quite quiet and serious. Meals in the household were conducted in silence, with each member holding a book in their hands. This was a peculiar habit in the Hawking household, where respect for knowledge was demonstrated through the smallest actions in daily life. Despite the financial hardships, Stephen's parents still made efforts to provide the best education for their children. They encouraged them to explore and learn new things, rejecting traditional educational methods in favor of fostering independent learning and creative thinking. This liberal education style laid the foundation for Stephen's exceptional intellectual development in the years to come. When Stephen Hawking started at the University of Oxford in 1959, he felt somewhat isolated. Although accepted into one of the most prestigious universities, the age difference between him and his fellow students made it hard for him to integrate. He was one of the youngest students in his class and felt somewhat disconnected from most of his peers. Additionally, the teaching methods at Oxford, which were considered rigorous and heavily theoretical, did not pose much of a challenge to Hawking. Studying physics seemed relatively easy for him, and he didn't find much motivation in the lectures or the curriculum. However, Hawking didn't let feelings of isolation or lack of academic challenge stop him. To enrich his university life and connect with his peers, he decided to join the university's rowing club, despite not being particularly talented in the sport. He even led his team to a B grade in rowing competitions. Though he didn't excel in the sport, participating in the rowing club helped him build new relationships and made his time at Oxford more enjoyable. During his time at Oxford, although the studies didn't present much of a challenge, Stephen set high goals for himself and was determined to complete his course with honors. His perseverance and determination helped him graduate with honors in 1962, proving his exceptional talent and strong ability to learn. After graduating from Oxford, Stephen Hawking decided to continue his studies at the University of Cambridge, where he began his graduate program in cosmology. This decision marked an important shift in his academic career, where he not only continued learning but also began contributing important research to the fields of theoretical physics and cosmology. It was at Cambridge that a pivotal event occurred, altering both his life and career. In 1963, when Stephen Hawking was just 21 years old, he was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, a degenerative neurological disease. Doctors predicted that he would only live for another 2 years. However, instead of succumbing to the disease, Hawking continued to fight. He refused to let the illness interfere with his career and personal life. Despite his gradually diminishing mobility, he continued his research and went on to become one of the greatest scientists of all time. In the following years, Stephen Hawking made significant breakthroughs in theoretical physics, particularly in his research on black holes and the theory of spacetime. After beginning his research career at the University of Cambridge, Hawking quickly established his talent and creativity. One of his most important contributions was the theory of Hawking radiation, published in 1974. This theory changed the way we understand black holes. Before his discovery, black holes were thought to be unable to emit any form of radiation and would disappear after absorbing matter. However, through his work on quantum mechanics, Hawking showed that black holes could emit a type of radiation, later known as Hawking radiation. This discovery was groundbreaking because it not only changed the concept of death for black holes but also opened new doors to understand the relationship between fundamental forces of nature, gravity and quantum mechanics. This theory became one of the greatest discoveries in theoretical physics and a turning point in the study of cosmology and black hole theory. After his success in scientific research, Stephen Hawking continued to make an impact with the publication of A Brief History of Time in 1988. This book opened the door to exploring the universe for millions of non-specialist readers. A Brief History of Time was not just a scientific work but also an educational one, helping to explain complex concepts like the universe, black holes, time, and the origins of the universe in a way that was accessible to all readers, regardless of their level of expertise. The book immediately became a phenomenon, not only within the scientific community but also in popular culture. With its accessible yet profound writing style, Hawking conveyed complex cosmological ideas in a clear and engaging manner. It quickly sold over 10 million copies and was translated into more than 35 languages, becoming one of the best-selling science books of all time. A Brief History of Time was not only a major success in Hawking's career but also brought a change in how the public viewed and approached physics, making science more relatable. The book sparked widespread interest in the major questions of cosmology and solidified Stephen Hawking's position as one of the greatest scientists of the 20th century. While Stephen Hawking's career flourished, his family life was fraught with challenges. In 1965, he married Jane Wilde, a fellow university student who cared for him during his battle with illness. The couple had 3 children, but their marriage gradually became strained. Despite their deep love for each other, Hawking's illness prevented him from fulfilling his responsibilities as a husband, and the burden of family life fell entirely on Jane's shoulders. After 25 years, they divorced in 1995. Hawking later remarried Elaine Mason, a nurse who had cared for him, but this marriage also ended in divorce in 2006. Although Stephen Hawking did not receive the Nobel Prize, he remained one of the greatest scientists of the 20th and 21st centuries, receiving numerous prestigious awards, including the Albert Einstein Award, the Wolf Prize, and the Copley Medal. He continued to develop his theories on the universe, making significant contributions to the study of singularities, black holes, and other cosmological concepts. In 2009, he hosted a party for time travelers, despite not sending out any invitations, in an attempt to verify whether anyone from the future would attend. Although this experiment was unsuccessful, it showcased his humor and creativity. Stephen Hawking not only made an impact in the scientific community but also left warnings about the future of humanity. He expressed concerns about the unchecked development of artificial intelligence and the negative effects of climate change. He also emphasized that while technology could bring many benefits, if left uncontrolled, it could threaten the survival of humanity. Stephen Hawking passed away on March 14, 2018, at the age of 76, after a life full of challenges. Although he is no longer with us, his legacy lives on. His contributions to science, along with his extraordinary resilience and determination in life, will continue to inspire future generations. Hawking demonstrated that, despite facing tremendous challenges, one can still achieve greatness if driven by passion and determination. His legacy will continue to impact generations of scientists and all those who believe in the power of intellect and perseverance. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through the life of Stephen Hawking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories about the world's greatest minds. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let us know in the comments what you found most inspiring about Stephen's life and legacy. See you in the next video.